Hello and welcome to Live Coding Happy Hour on this fantastic November 6th, 2020. I'm your host, Andrew Barnes, here with my co-host, Brad Tilton, and we are here today to do some live coding on this great Friday. Brad, why don't you kick us right into intros?
Sure. Hey, everybody. My name is Brad Tilton, and I am a developer advocate with the Developer Program here at ServiceNow. I have been developing on ServiceNow in some form or fashion for about 12 years. And yeah, I've been an employee for the last 4. Excited to be here today. We have a fun show planned, I hope. So, Andrew.
Thanks, Brad. And I'm Andrew Barnes. I'm a developer advocate here at ServiceNow. I've been doing this job for about 2 years here at ServiceNow and have been in the ecosystem for a little over 6 years as a customer developer and implementer as a partner and here at ServiceNow Direct. And yeah, I'm super excited to be here with y'all today and do some live coding. Today has been a getting stuff done day. So it's been a no meeting Friday. So I've actually got stuff done. So I'm psyched to do some more stuff and get more things done. What are you drinking today, Brad?
Yeah, so I'm excited about the beer that I found today. It is from Lakewood Brewing. It's a Lion's Share Anniversary Ale. It's a Russian Imperial Stout aged in rum barrels.
Oh, you make me jealous every time you say
it
imperial and aged in rum barrels. Jealous every time you do that. Today I am, let's see what we have in here. I think we went piratey from the bottle. Yes, we went pirate.
Oh,
So this is a Belgian ale that is, it's imported from Belgium. So I'm going to enjoy this today. Let's crack it open. So what we do on the show, if you haven't been here before, welcome. We do completely unscripted ServiceNow development here. So just as you would as any developer at any customer or partner building on our platform, you get a story, you pick it up and you work it. And that's basically what we're doing here. We tend to show off new features on the platform or bring up things that have been noticed by us in the community, like a recurring question that's coming up, or just a particular problem that we have to solve, whatever use case that comes across that fits that, we'll do that. So everything that we do on here is some actual thing that we leverage. So none of these are completely made up scenarios. We stretch a little. Like our cooking app isn't essential. We like it and it's fun, but some of our other stuff is we actually run the business of our group on some of the work we do. So there's a varying degrees of how rigorous we have to be with some of these. Today, Brad, we're going to be working on your cooking app some more, and I believe you've teased to me that we're going to be linking that with some Apple hotkeys set up to call an API.
Yeah, so I was looking at something the other day and saw that the Apple shortcuts, which is basically a way to run little workflows on Apple. I think it's just iOS and iPadOS, and you can call them with voice with Siri, but there's a way you can consume REST APIs with it. And I thought that's kind of interesting, and so I was looking at how we can incorporate that into the cooking app, because a lot of the time when I am doing something with my smoker, I have my hands busy and I do a lot of setting timers with my voice and things like that, and turning lights on and off out on my outdoor kitchen and that sort of thing. So I thought, what if I could also interact with the cooking app via voice? So that's the plan.
Well, that
And
sounds like a fun use case
yeah,
and
so
useful for
yeah,
you while you're doing your cooking outside.
it will be useful. Yeah, upside down, Andrew. I don't know if we'll get quite to smoke all of the meat for me, but maybe we'll get partially there. So yeah, the
maybe
goal for
maybe
today
some
is.
robotic process automation can handle that for us.
Oh, yes,
I don't think
yeah,
so.
some swivel chair automation. Yeah, so the goal for today is just to be able to create a cook record from telling Siri to create a cook record. All right, I didn't trigger
And
anything. That was good.
yeah, that sounds super fun. As a reminder, last month we did CreatorCon. I'm sporting my CreatorCon shirt from what's this, 18s? The Mission to Mars year?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That
that was
18?
18. It
Yeah.
was.
So got my little Mission to Mars shirt here. Hilariously, I didn't participate in that. But it did. I got to go through it afterwards, and it did look like a lot of fun. And then I built the equivalent of that for last year's, the brewery operations one, along with my friend Dave Slusher. So we built that one together. So that was a ton of fun. Last week, CreatorCon happened. You can go check it out and get all the content, including a live code happy hour that we did special for that event. And there's some good content in there, especially there's a couple of new Paris trainings, workshops, and informational sessions about what's new in Paris that should be useful for you. And with that, let's get to the live coding part. Let's
Yeah.
do the screen share and start doing the do.
All right. And on the on the CreatorCon, we'll have a recap blog up next week where you can log in. Not log in, where you can look at what we did there. All right, let's share my screen. This one. And we should be screen sharing. How
We look like we're screen sharing to me.
are we looking?
What Zoom are you at? Probably
I
could
am
use
not
one.
even zoomed in.
All right. That's looking pretty good, sir.
All right. So why focus on my favorites? All right. So let's take a look at our cooking management application. So my cooking management application, I've got some different things happening, but let's look at my cook record. So this cook record is kind of the base of our application. So just as a quick recap, both Andrew and I do a good bit of meat smoking. And so a lot of times those cooks are really long. So, you may do a brisket or a big pork butt that takes like 18 hours. And so There are a lot of like logbooks and things where, you can go in and kind of write down, what you did in the cook, and, when you added logs and when you spritzed it or wrapped the meat, things like that. But being who I am, I thought, I would rather capture all of that information digitally and be able to, run some reports and look at the data. And so that's what this app aims to do. So if I just save this cook record, I've got a lot of attributes like where, I can tell it what recipe I'm using, what kind of food am I cooking, am I using a smoker or a grill, or am I inside cooking? And then we also have a thermometer integration with my Fireboard Wi-Fi thermometer, where we can automatically grab temperature readings from the cook. And then down below here, we have a couple of related lists where we have logs, and this is where you would say, I added a log, or I started my cook, things like that.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, being able to pair up two of our the fun things in our lives, doing ServiceNow development and smoking the meat. So I've
Yeah,
had a lot
that
of
was a
fun
fun,
with this.
yeah,
Yeah.
fun little discovery when we figured out we both liked both of those things. Um, so our goal for today is really just to create one of these records. And then I think I also want to create a log record, because one of my logs is like, hey, I started the fire. And this is
Okay.
actually important for me because I a lot of times figure out, I forget how long it takes to start the fire, and I never like log it. And so I kind of know it takes about 30 minutes, but I
But
would
then
like
you
more
forget
data.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so that's what we'll do. So the plan, I think, is I want to create a subflow that's going to start. It's going to create my cook record for me. The nice thing about a
Okay.
subflow is I can call it from all sorts of places. I could call it from a flow. I could call it from a scripted REST API, anywhere where I can code. Um,
Yeah, so I
and
could
so,
call it from a business rule or a client script or an
yeah.
external thing. If I use a scripted REST API, there's all sorts of ways to expose a subflow, and you get to control what you pass into it and what comes out of the other end, which makes it a very script include, if you're familiar with ServiceNow terms, like object, but you get to use it. You get to use the flow top down. Human readable kind of process to do it versus scripting necessarily.
Yeah, and I would say at this point, if you have something you're thinking about doing in a script include, you might at least think about, could I do this in a subflow instead? Is this something that maybe at some point a citizen developer might want to pull into a flow? But I think it's time to start thinking like that. Like, is this something that I could do in a subflow rather than putting in a script include? And obviously, you don't want to do that with everything, but there are some things that make sense.
Nice.
All right.
So are we going to start with the flow, with the
I
subflow, or are we
think
going
we'll
to?
start with a subflow, then we'll create our scripted REST API that calls the subflow, and then we'll test that, and then we will call it from an Apple shortcut
Sounds
if it
good.
works, getting my
So that
iPhone
means
showing on the screen.
Brad is going to open up Flow Designer under our process automation area.
I am.
Oh, we're going to move into our correct scope
I'm gonna do that just
just it's
just because
nice.
after I'm remembering it right now, and then later on we're gonna create a scripted REST API, and I don't want
Yep,
to
you
create a
might
global one.
might forget by then.
Because in Flow Designer I
You
can
can,
tell it.
yeah, you can choose there, but it does default to the one that your main UI has selected.
Yes. So I am going to call this create cook.
Okay.
And
all right. So this is going to create the cook record.
yes. So
And
before
are
we
you going
jump
to do a
into
different
this,
one that's going to create you log entries?
I think,
Or do you want an abstraction that just accepts anything to your REST endpoint and does what you need from that? Like creates a cook or creates a log point.
yeah. So I think long term, I'm going to have different shortcuts that have different like keywords that are going to ping my REST API and then the REST
Sure.
API.
But you could have
So
one REST API that's accepting those different keywords as a parameter.
that's a good point. I do know that I want to do as little in the REST API as possible, because maybe at some point I won't have to use the scripted REST API anymore.
Okay.
So
let's move forward with the create a cook then.
let's start like this. So for create cook, I don't think we actually have any inputs. Trying to think, would I want to know that I created it from, like, where I created it from?
I think you want to store that in the record, like.
All right.
So yeah, you do accept an input of at least, which device is sending it, because your
source.
Apple shortcut process should be able to send like the name of the device that sent it over.
Yeah, I think I can pass in parameters. All right.
Okay.
So let's pass in source. I think that works as a string.
Sure. I'm fine.
Let's do
that being a string.
And then one of the things
we're going to use it as
a
string. So yeah,
we are going to use it as a string. We'll want an output. Is there a scenario where I don't want to create a record? Like if I already have one created and I tell it to create one, not knowing that I already have one going at the moment. No.
I think you create a second one if it.
Yeah, let's do that. So do we want an output? Let's I'd
return back the sys ID and the the record number.
All right.
Is what I would want from a returnable, repeatable object here.
I'm going to call this. Yeah. All right. And let's see.
It is a beautiful day here in North Carolina. I've got the windows open. It's so nice.
We're a little warmer than we have been lately, but it is still nice outside.
Yeah, it's 72, 73 outside right now. Beautiful, beautiful day.
All right. So we've got my inputs and outputs
Sweet.
there. So now I want to, and I think we just want to create a record.
Yay. We're going to do that on the cook table.
That's this one. And then
I know alphabetical is like the best way to like just defaultly present that, but I sure would like the tables in my scope to be like at the top of that list.
Yep.
I think that'd be kind of nice.
Yeah, and then maybe most used tables,
and then like scope. Most used, and then alphabetical. But
somebody should put an idea in there.
Somebody should.
I don't need any records. Let's say I at least want to put a short description. We'll just say auto created
from, and then the device name. Yeah.
There's a reason we did that. What other fields do we have on here?
Quick,
Um,
yeah, there's not a lot that you can pass in that's going to be different, right? So I
yeah,
suspect you might want to set some reasonable defaults.
yeah. I will probably want to do that just on the record itself.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying is
Yeah,
on like you might want to set some defaults on this table in those fields for like what the default should be.
yeah, that's a good point. Let's
I
do
would not do that in the subflow at all.
one of those here. We'll do it later.
Okay, sounds good.
Why did I not close Outlook? I don't need emails. All right.
Your emails can't touch me right now.
And then what I also want to do is I want to create another
Log entry
log
right then.
record. Yeah, because
Just
I
say,
think typically when I do this, it'll be when I'm starting the fire.
okay.
So
And you
let's
can
create a,
change it if you need, but
I can.
I think, the default
Oh, that's right.
is
I named
fire started.
I named that
Oh.
table such a good, there we go. Log.
Just what the world needed, another table with the name log.
Yeah, if you don't learn anything else, don't name a table log. I want.
So he's populating fields here, and so he just grabbed the data object that was generated from action 1 and dragged it into action 2 to leverage it.
I think that's about all.
I'm your
want
friendly
here.
narrator today, apparently.
Yeah, I don't think we need. Well, timestamp is actually a. No, this gets auto created. We're good.
Yeah.
Let's. What do we have in here? Yeah,
pretty straightforward.
I'm gonna put
a
I'm gonna put a note in the
that
description.
it's auto. Yes.
Yeah.
I approve.
All right, and then let's set some outputs.
Yep. So we created the outputs, and now we actually need to populate them with some data from the flow, so that they can actually have stuff in them.
Yeah, this took me a little while to get used to adding an action to assign the outputs. For whatever reason, it just feels like I should have somewhere else to go do this.
Yeah, it feels like I should do it in the input output definition area to me.
Yeah, it always, I always have to remember, yes, I need to do this in an action. Cook record, I want the...
And the reason for it being down here versus up top, Brad, is because you can actually do this more than once in a flow. So you can assign the outputs at different stages. So you could have branching or conditions in which you assign the outputs in a different way and manner. And you wouldn't be able to do that if it was abstracted at the top.
That makes so much sense, since there's no variable you can just set to an output and then set that. So yes, that makes sense. All right. SysID containing... Oh, it doesn't... Does it not like that? Oh, I called one of those... I called this just SysID, and it looks like it doesn't like that. So
okay,
let's...
Oh, yeah. That's like a reserved word in programming. Don't use SysID as the name of a
Let's
field.
reset these. Oh, great.
Oh, no.
What just happened?
It got angry at you because...
All right.
Just try and save again.
So I'm going to save.
You broke Brad's rule, which is you
I
took too
know.
long to save.
I actually had saved right before that. I don't know if you saw that
Oh,
before
I missed it then.
That's how I got the error, because I had
Right,
saved.
but I thought, yeah, but that was after you'd done 3 steps.
That's true. I do typically save
That
much more often than that.
yeah, you did the inputs and outputs and 3 actions before you hit save, which is definitely past the Brad point.
All right. I think that looks
Done. All right.
So let's save. Let's test this thing.
Oh, save successful. Yay.
Source.
Testing. Flow designer testing.
All right.
Subflow
Let's
has been
see what
executed.
happened. It's all green. That looks good.
I
We
love
got
green.
a number.
We got a record.
Outputs are these. Let's go make sure that it
ID and a cook number, and it's looking
looks
good.
right, because this other one was 26. That was 27.
You could open the record right from your flow execution.
Oh, let's do that. Let's do that. Create record. That was the second one.
Yeah. The runtime value is a clickable cook 1027.
There we go. Hey, auto created from flow designer test.
No timestamp though.
No timestamp. What? That should just be. No, that's the temperature record.
You thought that was auto done, and apparently it's not. But it's about to be. GS.now should be, yeah.
Is now available on scope?
I don't know.
For some reason, I thought it was
that. There's about 20 things that'll get you current time, date time. So whichever one works.
That looks right.
There we go. Nice.
Okay.
Awesome. Well, that's a subflow.
Right. So we've got a subflow.
Like it's got nice in and outs. Go ahead and put in a test default so that you don't have to pass that from your scripted REST API when you're trying to test it. So go ahead and in your inputs, under your inputs, use that little drop down next to the.
Oh, that's right. I always forget where that is.
Andrew says, "Drink for success."
Approve
this message.
Done that already, but I'll do another one.
All right. I'm liking my little pirate beer. It's nice.
Is it good?
Yeah.
Mine is. I don't want to give it away, but
I'm still jealous of yours. But
it's gonna get a good score. All right, I'm gonna publish this baby.
So one of the nice things here is you can use the little kebab in the top right to get how to call this from a scripted area under code snippet.
Code snippet.
And you just copy this, and there's even a button that just copy it at the bottom. We're going to be on the server side.
Oh, I know. I just wanted to look at it.
Yeah. So this is very handy.
That is nice. I don't know that I've actually used this before.
It's really handy when you want to invoke a flow, subflow, or action from like a UI action.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes it really easy to turn a UI action into business logic with one of those.
I'm pretty sure the last time I did that, I went to the APIs on the doc side and did it all, grabbed the sys ID.
I completely believe that that's what happened. I know that I've done that more than once.
All right. So I think I'm just going to call this cooking management, and we'll give it some.
Okay.
Ooh. It seems long.
Yeah, that does seem long.
I'm actually just going to call it cook for now. I'm not going to give it any protection policy.
No protection. Well, that seems like a reasonable place to start and then hone it in later.
Yeah. So then we want a resource, and this is going to be create, I think is what we will call it.
Okay.
Doesn't this get auto-populated? No. Oh, I'm thinking resource path. All right. So let's go and paste in.
Yeah, and so this is where you get to decide whether you want this to run synchronously or asynchronously.
Saw that note. I want this to run asynchronously.
All right, so
then we
comment out line 8 or uncomment line 8, and then comment what's that? 11 and 12. No, just 11.
Why do you look? Oh, because it's all one.
Because it doesn't do a break. You could break it.
Yeah, that's fine. There we go.
And yeah, I think you do have to comment out 12. Because you don't get results if you're running it async.
Oh, got it.
And then otherwise that looks...
well, we don't have outputs.
Yeah. So it's basically, take source and go. You are going to need to set the... so on line 5 is where you're going to need to put the...
Yes.
To grab the parameter from the other, from the calling resource to here, and then set your input of source.
Yeah.
And you can start by just putting anything you want in there.
Yeah, let's
hitting test and make sure that...
Test.
Oh, no. That needs to say source, sir.
Oh. It's so much harder when you're doing this on
so you can put any string there to test what we will send the source input field over in Flow. So we can save that and test it.
Let's try it. Why did I update? Can I test from here?
No,
I gotta go to the Explorer. You have to go
to the scripted REST API Explorer, or the REST API Explorer. It does.
I didn't know if you had another little trick for me.
No, I don't.
SNC.
There might be a trick. I just don't know that one. I always just use the API Explorer.
Did I not add anything?
No, you didn't add anything, but that's fine because we hard coded the parameter. And we should
we didn't
created a record.
Assign any outputs.
Right.
So
but record 28 should exist now.
There we go. Auto created from test from Strappy.
Noise. Okay. So now we need to add in that
we want to grab the source. So
we actually need to send the source as a query parameter and then parse that and dump it into the variable.
Where are you, Cook? All right, and then let's go. Can I use it like this? I always forget. I have to go look at.
Oh, I was literally going to look because I don't ever remember the syntax of how this stuff works. And I've made many a scripted REST API. And I just don't store it.
I think I can do this, right?
So I will go pull one up and validate for you right now.
Yeah.
Let's see. Pull up one of these
I'm gonna do
resource
this.
methods. And so in the relative path, you throw in the little squigglies around the
Oh yeah.
the thing you want. And then you do request.pathparams. The name of the squiggly thing.
Got it. So let's do this.
And could you use something other than source?
Yep.
Because source as a word scares me.
I agree. Looks like we're back. Back, no sound. Is there sound now? Looks like we're back.
All right. Looks like should be fine.
All right, I think we're good. We did call that in, that source on the flow. So
all right,
we have sound.
We do have sound. Let's see.
We're just gonna see if this works. I want to go cook management, cook source. Hey, there's something.
All right. REST API Explorer. That is a good source.
It seems right.
Seems right. Are you sure you want to do this? Why, yes, I am.
All right. Oh, it's a GraphQL API. I was hoping that was a shortcut for. Hey, look at that. And we got
we got our short description populated. We got our log created. We got the description in the log populated properly. That's looking pretty snazzy. So now we need to set this up on your Apple shortcuts to call this thing.
It's Apple
right?
time. All right.
It's Apple time.
I'm so nervous sharing my phone screen.
A software update is required to connect to Brad's iPhone.
I don't think I'm going to install an update
right this second. No, that
right
seems.
Now. So this is what we'll do.
Join the Zoom.
Oh, that's an idea.
That's how I share my mobile.
I was just going to take a screenshot because there's not really much to it.
Oh, okay.
it's like legit. You just copy the, let's go back to the REST API Explorer. Do we really have to do that? Let's see if QuickTime really cares.
Yeah, just because it said it doesn't mean it's true.
New movie recording. And Brad's iPhone. Oh, gave me the message again.
Oh,
thanks for consistency, Apple, I guess. All right, so cook management. I am going to just, I know this is riveting.
Type
so
that
I'm
out on your phone.
typing in X. This is like right at the point where I can probably still type it faster than I could send it to my phone.
Yeah.
I say that and just fat fingered something.
So X underscore SNC underscore cook. Is that where you're at right now? Underscore MGMT / cook / and then your parameter for cook source.
I'm going to say Siri is my cook source. And I'm going to change my parameter to post. And I just took a screenshot, and we will, maybe we'll post that or something once I scrub out my basic auth that I just realized I have here.
Is it on your screen? Is the basic auth on the screen?
Part of it is.
Can you put it up to the camera so that I could see it? And then we can flip to that real quick. I mean, you have a camera on.
I need to figure out. Yeah, you can see all of the basic auth. So let's just. I typed that in. It's just.
You can't give us like the top half or bottom half of the thing. Show me what it looks like on your.
Fine.
I just want to see.
Where's? Can you see that?
Oh yeah, there's no way we can share that from your. Now I believe.
All right, so
we will take a screenshot of
now.
that and blur it out.
So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna raise up my Apple Watch and we'll go start a cook.
Okay.
Ooh.
Siri said okay.
Siri said okay.
Let's see.
She's on it.
Hey.
Auto created from Siri twice.
I hit play one time. Does that look like right now?
That was a minute before. So there was one right then and then one a minute before. So I think when you saved it.
Yeah, I did accidentally hit it when I saved it. So I can manually run it from my phone. That worked. So I'm doing it again right now.
And a couple seconds later. Come on. Pick up the event. There we go.
There's the third one.
Nice.
So that looked like it worked.
That totally works.
So I want to do another one that's adding. We've got 15 minutes. I want to add a.
That's some victory right there.
Add a split.
I need a beer as good as your beer for this kind of victory.
Oh, it's really good.
So I'm watching Brad drink this because we still have the cameras on, even though you can't see them. And I'm just over here jealous. I'm super jealous. I'm like, I want some of that. I'm gonna have to go get a better beer.
Try not to drink it too fast because the ABVs are kind of out of control.
So you said you want to do another flow?
Yeah, so I want to be able to tell Siri, hey, I just added a split, which I think is the way I would say that. So
So that means your subflow is going to need to look up an active cook and update it with a
Yeah.
new log entry.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Let's do
We
that.
can do that.
So I think we'll just call this, I forget we named the log entry log, and we are also adding logs to the fire.
Adding
So I want to
logs to
make
the
this,
fire.
I want to make this generic, and then pass it.
You want to make it generic, but you just said add log.
Yeah,
That
so I
doesn't
want to
sound
add
very
a
generic.
log entry.
God.
That's see that's
That
why
was
it
the
is.
joke.
That's why it's confusing.
Yes.
But I want to, like, I may add added fuel, added wood.
So the start the cook one, the reason you didn't make that generic is because there really is just start cook and end cook basically.
Yeah, so I started the cook,
but
and
the log one, there's much more granularity in what we're going to do for that. All right, well that makes a lot of sense. Is one for start and stop, which we can adjust that other one for stop, and then this one for controlling the log entries. I like that, and keeping it abstract and accepting these as parameters from the Siri invoke.
So we're calling this category.
Like log category almost even or something.
I think that's what I want to call it. And this is a choice.
It is, but you don't actually care, do you?
I don't. Yeah, I wouldn't need to ever select it, so it is a string. I was thinking, could I point this at a choice list? But I guess I don't need to point this at a choice list. And then the output, I think that's the only input
I don't think this one
accept.
doesn't need. I don't think this needs an output. It's a one-way street. Create one of these things. I got you, man. It's created.
Let's do it. All right. So the first thing we need to do is look up a record.
Yeah. So we're going to look up for an active cook. You could use lookup record.
Multiple records. Oh, yeah, that's right. Just trying to remember what the difference was. Cook.
I would hesitate. So if you're on a before Paris instance, use lookup records. But if you're on a Paris instance, you can use lookup record because it actually returns the number of entries. Or does it not?
Wasn't it? It did something that you didn't want to happen. I forget what that thing was, right? It did something bad. Like didn't do anything, maybe.
So status is the updated thing. Got it. Okay. So you check status. So it used to, if you did a lookup record and you didn't find one, it errored and your flow stopped.
There we go.
But now it'll throw an error message that you can consume, but it doesn't stop your flow.
All right. So I think I want work in progress flows. Okay. Well, we do want active is true.
Active and true is true is very nice on pretty much any table to just speed up queries.
Work in progress. I think that's the only. Yeah, I think that's the only.
We've kept this show pretty lightweight on the how deep you can go. I'm gonna drop a little knowledge bomb. Performance wise, if you start your query with the thing that will reduce it the most, it will actually speed up your query. So the order of your conditions actually can matter performance wise. So active is true is a really nice thing to start with because that's super well indexed and narrows down most tables very fast.
And then just in case I have more than one, I want the newest one here.
Well, that makes sense. And so you see there's some new things here in Paris, which is if multiple records are found, do this. So you got some choices on how to handle this scenario.
All right. So we've got a cook record from that, and now we want to create a log record. So this is on the log record. We may be adding a log. We don't know.
Okay.
Cook is cook record. And then our category
is coming from our inputs.
Is going to be log category. And then
got to throw in one
there
of
was
those
nothing
logs
else.
for those.
That's right.
Those folks that are, you know.
Oh, so do we want to? Should we accept a source from this too?
Do you care at this stage?
Yeah, that's a good question. Do I care if I just did it? I don't think I care.
I don't think I care now. I care that the cook and the initial log was created from an automation. But once a cook is in progress, like whichever device tells me to do a thing, just do it.
I have thought about adding some automation to my outdoor space to where whenever I like open the door of my cooking chamber, I have something that triggers something and creates a record here.
Nice.
So
we should totally do
we'll
that.
use that. Yeah.
Oh.
There's some heat issues, but I think I can still make it happen.
I think.
Hey, why'd you open the firebox door 27 times in a minute here? What? Don't be so impatient. Yeah.
We could definitely rig up a little sensor that kicks that off. Oh, I totally want to do that now.
I've been thinking about, they have those little Amazon buttons also, and I've thought about putting one out there to do something with, whether it's anytime I add a log, I could just hit the button.
Oh, well, that's cool. For your opening the door or not, I was thinking like just a contact point sensor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That, is in contact when the thing is closed and it breaks contact as soon as you lift it up, and, sends it to a little, controller that can then hit your REST API.
I actually would like to know like the times that because sometimes I do get real impatient and open that door a whole bunch of times, and I would like to know if it actually affects the temperatures.
Of course it does. It not only does it affect the temperature, it affects your cook. It affects the results.
Yeah. They say that. I would like to. I'd like to get some data from it.
It is a little more forgiving than a cake in an oven.
Yes,
but it's still, it's
the firebox door. So the cooking chamber is still. I don't open that very much. It's the firebox that I like to mess with the fire.
Oh, I got confused then. I thought you were talking about opening the cooking chamber.
I mean, if you're going to put sensors on something, you might as well do it on both.
On both,
so that is what I was.
All right, back on track.
So this is.
I'm having too much fun.
This is going.
I'm gonna go order some sensors and send them to Brad's house.
An Arduino is what I was thinking, Andrew. All right, so, I favorited this. Let's get my cook. So I want another resource, and this is going to be add log. At some point, I'm going to rename some of this, but not today. All right. So this one for the relative path, I'm going to want cook category.
Okay.
Let's save this guy and.
Ooh, he's angry. didn't you want like what was the you use like you need a prefix on that, right? Because cook
Yeah. Why
category could
did
be the same as
this?
source. That's why. It's because cook category
Yeah.
and source at the same endpoint, they
I need a
could send the same
new.
thing over.
Yeah. So this, I need I need something in the to
So
say we're.
you needed to like end at management and do cook / or do log. Like if you moved it up one level and then the other one was cook and then its parameter, and then this one was log and its parameter. Do you understand what I'm saying? The resource path should end at management.
Well, I think I have to give. This was auto created, right? From the. I think I have to edit the relative
From
path.
cook.
Yeah. So that's the
then you need
API
to add
itself.
log to the
Yeah.
second one.
I think I'm gonna add. Well, yeah, this is already working. So let's add. Will that work? I think I need to add like new cook or something to this. Right?
Ooh, create.
I don't like that either. How about
That's an action, not a.
right? Because this is the create cook
I think you should do
resource definition.
instead of new cook, let's just do cook again, or cook record, or cook something.
Yeah, but
So cook is the
this
app.
path is always going to do a create because it's only existing in this
Right.
resource,
But-
which is doing a create.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fine then. Yes. Sorry.
No,
I was thinking of the create and the the create a new one and close it.
Oh, got it. Okay. If we
But
were going to do both
that's a
from the
separate-
same, yeah,
That can be a separate resource
Yeah.
method.
So this will be, what did I call that? New or create?
New
New
underscore
let's call this new
log.
log. And then we'll say cook category. All right, and I think we're almost out of time, so we won't do this from the, we'll just test it from here.
Why don't you legit copy the other one and paste it here and just change the path?
That is a good idea.
We've already done all the work. I think we can actually close this out if you just copy this one and paste it over in the other one and adjust just a little bit.
All right, and the difference is, I think,
add log.
this.
Yeah. Versus create cook. There you go. Nice.
And
then
this
the name of the parameter. Yep.
Log category.
Okay.
This
Nice.
is, what did I call this?
Yeah, I have to look at the flow. Oh, it has it there, but yeah. Lovely. I bet you that'll work.
Ooh. Andrew guarantees. You guys heard it here.
Upside down Andrew guarantees. This Andrew is maybe.
Oh no, I have to click on the other one. So
we need to pass it.
I don't remember what those are called.
Yeah.
This
You're
is
not here to defend yourselves, Andrew. So I said you said that. Prove me wrong.
Andrew may or may not have been invited to this also. Let's go added fuel.
He said just
I
now
think
he
is what I want.
guarantees it. I saw all those words in his response.
It was in the chat. Added fuel is what we want. All right, let's see how the upside down Andrew guarantee works.
Now, one of the fun things I didn't point out is you can actually launch the REST API Explorer from inside your REST API method.
I thought that was available. I didn't see it in there.
I didn't see it when you
know what?
Whoa,
This is not, that's not the one. So our category didn't get passed.
Well, let's take a look at that entry and see what is in there. Show me the XML.
Where?
Nothing.
Category.
All right, so we made a mistake in our parsing. We did go fast on that parsing.
Yeah. I think we're out of time, but let's cook category, log category. You know, maybe if we just named things the right way, that would, I'm not going to rename those things, but I think that was it. What should the category be? Added fuel. All right, it's going to work this time.
Okay, let's do it. Because I know you can get from the REST API Explorer to the entry.
Okay, let's see. So many clicking.
Added fuel.
That was it. All right.
Victory was had.
Yep.
Screen share was stopped. That was.
I'm on the wrong screen.
Well, that doesn't look right.
Oh.
What happened? Oh, it's so angry. Why are you so angry soon?
Can you see me up here?
There we go. You're good now.
I'll go back from.
I don't know why I was angry, but it was. Oh. Wow, I was angry. That was a lot of fun, Brad. So what you did was we created two subflows that one of them creates a new cook record and creates a log record, which is a related list item for that. And the second one, the second subflow creates a log entry for an existing cook. And both of those can be done through your Apple shortcuts, which can be invoked from Siri on devices like your wristwatch. And it was very simple to set up on your phone. I've not done that myself, but looking at your screen, I was like, oh, you just put the endpoint in there.
Yeah, it was really just type in the endpoint, type in your authentication or copy in your authentication, and that's it. The nice thing about what we set up too is, I have a lot of Apple devices. We've also got some like Google Home devices. Mm-hmm. So if I figure out how to consume a REST endpoint from our Google devices, I could do that from there.
You can
also
definitely do.
And then the kids can make fun of me when I try to do Siri with the Google devices or tell my Apple devices, hey Google. They get a kick out of that, which I'll not confirm how often I do that. But.
That's pretty fun. So that was really a lot of fun. And in order to do that, we needed a scripted REST API that could be our sort of external touch point for your Apple devices to call. and then that in turn just invoked your subflow, which then did any of the logic that we needed in this case,
Hmm.
and it went really well. We did not practice this. I mean, we have done some similar sorts of things before, but this was not a polished practice demo, and you nailed it, Brad. So that was really great. Um, that you know that that
Yeah.
uh, that was some victory.
I mean, the power of subflows in Flow Designer is, I think
Subflow
at
is
this
so
point,
powerful.
put everything you can in a subflow, and then you can call it from a flow or wherever you want to call it from.
I think that's my new default rule as a developer is whatever I'm working in Flow Designer, the things I'm creating is either a subflow, or an action. And then how I invoke that might be a flow, but that's a separate endeavor. Like I construct my work objects in that subflow or action, and then I just call them from the a very simple flow with a trigger. Um, or once you're on Paris kinds of things, you can do that from Process Automation Designer.
Yeah. I
So
mean, it's really similar
subflows.
to thinking about business rules and script includes. I mean, really you should be doing anything serious in a script include, and then just figuring out how to trigger that script include, whether it's from a business rule or workflow script or wherever.
Too much fun. Thanks, Brad. So, how
Yeah.
was your tasty beverage today, sir?
My
I'm
beverage
calling it a four
was
five just from looking at the
it
thing.
was really good, and it is a 4.5. So it was the Lion's Share Anniversary Ale from Lakewood Brewing. It was kind of unique. It was a little different than a lot of I do a lot of barrel aged stouts, and this one was a little different. So I liked that.
Nice. And my Pirate, lovely beer, which is too much fun from Belgium, and it's a Belgian ale. Was quite good for a Belgian ale. I think it's getting some victory points, and I call it a 4.25,
Nice.
because it got some victory points. But I sure wish I was drinking a rum a rum barrel aged stout of some form. It's getting, it's not cold today, but it's getting cold, and I can break out those stouts soon.
Yeah.
Mm. Well, thank you for joining us, everyone. If you're watching us live on Friday, we'd love to have you, in the chat. If you're catching us later, come join in the chat sometime. We'd love to interact with you directly, or visit us on the blog, developer.servicenow.com. Our blog lives there. Um, and we love to interact with all of you developers out there in the world, and let us know what you'd like to see coming up in the future. So reach out to us directly, Twitter, LinkedIn, whatever. Get us a message, send up a smoke signal, tell us what you want to see, and we'll build it, craft it, create it on the show here. Anything else from you, Brad, before we close it out?
Not from me. Just hope everybody has a great weekend.
All right. Well, thanks, everybody. Have a most wonderful weekend, and we'll see you again next time.